I got a haircut last night, and
same.
I swear, the lady who I usually get it from, like, the thing is, my hair, I know it looks...
It's disgusting.
I know it looks like normal hair, but it's very hard to get right, and almost every day it looks very bad. So I only have like one lady who works at the Supercuts down the street who really understands the complexities of my hair, man. The depth, the deepnesses of my hair, man. And she wasn't there last night, but I had to get it because today was picture day at school. So I had this lady cut it who barely spoke English, and I was like, here's a photo of me with my hair look the best. If you could just kind of do it like that, could you do it like that? And she gave me a haircut. And, I mean, it's not the worst haircut ever, but it's very, very short and hard to style. See, my problem is, right, when my hair is long, there's so much I could do with it, right? Like
the possibilities are endless,
I could sweep it up over my head. I could do it to the side. I could like part it like a weird surfer dude. I could do like a Steve kind of thing, Steve Harrington. Like I've been really kind of experimenting recently. Like I've been I want to get my hair to look like Steve Harrington's or something, or like Tom Holland's in Spider-Man would be cool. His hair looks awesome. But no, when you cut your hair off and it's like real short, it's like, what can I do with this?
Yeah.
No matter what I do, it just goes back to the same thing. And I hate it. And also, here's the weirdest thing. I know I'm off on a weird rant again, but the weirdest thing is, like, whenever I have shorter hair, I feel like I'm treated younger by most people around me. Does that even make sense? Like,
yeah, sure.
Because I think people think I'm like my mom, I got home last night and she was like, oh, your hair looks cute. And I'm like, frickin' heck.
Okay,
and then. I think that's what everyone thinks. I think when I get a short haircut, everyone goes, oh, it's cute. And I'm like, frickin' heck.
It's cute, little Houston.
Right. And when I have longer hair, I look like a kind of spunky adolescent who's just like about to turn 18 or something, which is the goal.
Yeah. Yeah,
a spunky adolescent.
Spunky. I grow my hair out, and I've always tried to go like for the really long, like long enough to put in a man bun.
Right.
And I always tell myself I'm gonna do it this time, and then it gets like 2 or 3 months in, I'm just like, no, I want it off. So I just cut it off. Honestly,
I do wonder what would happen if I changed my hairstyle and then my entire avatar and logo on Houston Productions 1 would be inaccurate.
Yeah.
It's already
locked yourself in.
It's already inaccurate because it's got those bracelets that I used to wear. It's got the orange, the blue, and the brown bracelets. And since then, a couple of those bracelets have snapped, and I have stopped wearing them. And now it's inaccurate. And people always go, what are those weird bands on your avatar's thing? And I'm like, well, they're bracelets I used to wear. I just have to explain to you this whole story that I used to wear them, and they were kind of my trademark, and now I don't wear them because they snapped, and now... Right?
Seems like you could easily paint over those.
Minutia. Classic minutia.
Oh, boy.
Anyway. Aside from that barbershop rant, right? Yeah.
I haven't been to a barbershop since I was like 5.
Well, I just go to Great Clips because it's the cheapest option, and my dad is like, you need to go to the cheapest option.
I haven't had a stranger cut my hair since I was like 5.
Really?
Yeah.
So your mom cuts your hair?
My mom cuts my hair all the time.
I've never had any of my parents cut my hair.
Yeah.
Because
my mom's
just like
always cut my hair.
I somehow think they would be awful at it.
I don't know what. Ever since I was little, they'd be cutting my hair, so it's just.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, like, when I go off to college, I'm gonna have to go get my hair cut at a real barber shop, and that's like.
Yeah.
What the frick do I tell them? Like, I know what to tell my mom.
Well, when I go into the haircut place, I bring a photo of when my hair looked nice, which I always have to go seek out in my camera roll. And in doing so, I scroll through all of my photos and I'm like, good Lord, my hair looks bad almost all the time.
Oh, got him.
And then I go, okay, here's a good one. And most of them are just from prom. I'm like, okay, my hair looked good at prom. I'll find a photo from then. And so then I take it in and I show them. And then basically I just tell them, okay, because what my hair does when it gets long is it just gets super thick and bushy. And it's really like, it's just too thick. It makes my head hot almost.
Up there. Yeah.
Right. And so I just tell them, can you thin it out a little bit and shorten it, but not too short because I like my hair long, but just a little bit shorter, thin it out. and here's a photo of when it looked nice. And that's what does the trick. But I've only been to like a real barber shop, like the kind with the weird red and white poles once.
Okay, interesting.
The other stuff is just cheap Great Clips,
Sure,
but you gotta find the person who can do it at Great Clips.
Definitely.
It's a quest of trial and error.
Quest of discovery.
But yeah, I've been, come to think of it, I've been a little bit obsessed with hair recently, of trying to think of how I could get my hair to look semi-presentable.
Yeah, sure.
Because it looks VV bad most of the time, and I use that term VV unironically in this instance. But I was like, I asked somebody the other day, I was looking at like Barry Allen's hair in The Flash, and so many people have that hairstyle. It's that like Lego hair where
yeah, for sure. I rock that hairstyle, man.
Yeah, you do. You have it good. Yeah. Like it's that hairstyle where it's like it manages to somehow like it's not over your forehead at all, but it like stands up slightly. Like it's like like it's got some energy to it almost.
Yeah.
My hair never does that. It always just sits flat on my forehead, and so I have to kind of style it like some sort of like.
I found you got to grow it that way. You
got to grow it that way.
You got to grow it up.
I mean, you just got to use hair gel at some point.
Yeah.
One point or another.
I think what did I do? Because that was a while back. I decided I wanted to start because before my hair was just hair, right?
Right. It was just hair, right?
It's just there, right? But no, what did I do? I think if you gel it consistently enough, that it just starts to naturally go that way after being stuck in that position or whatever, Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's weird. I don't know how it all happened.
So often I'll be out in public and I'll see my reflection or something and I'm like, my hair looks okay. What? It looks okay. And then within a few minutes or something, I'll see my reflection again in like a window or something and I'm like, oh, it got messed up by the wind.
Geez. Oh, jeez.
Like it never stays in any position at all. Every time I go, maybe if I could get it to stay that way, that'd be awesome. It doesn't stay that way. Never.
Yeah.
So.
No, you said like Barry Allen, he's got hair that defies gravity.
It defies gravity. Yeah.
Right? But if you really want to look at defying gravity hair, just look at Joe Curie's hair, honestly.
Oh, right.
Steve.
Yeah.
Like that hair, dude, like how does that work?
Low key, I'm not above going on eBay and buying old products of that Farrah Fawcett spray from the 80s just to use what Steve used.
Just to try it. Yeah. Honestly, man.
I told my dad that the other day. I was like, my hair looks okay right now. If I had some hairspray like Steve did, I could get it to stay this way. And he was like, he doesn't. He grew up in the 70s.
Okay.
And so he's not a big fan of the 80s. He's always like, ugh, the 80s.
Man.
So he was like, man, you're not from the 80s, son.
Beautiful.
Anyway. I think our rant is over. Yes?
Yeah.
Maybe this episode has nothing to do with Infinity War. I'm just going to title it the hair episode, right?
Yeah.
It's the episode about hair.
How to style hair 101 with Blockbusted,
I've got so much energy today because I'm so excited. I'm so happy, Hitchcock.
Yeah,
I'm
but
so satisfied.
How late were you up last night?
Oh, man. 4:30 a.m.?
Oh, my gosh.
I was writing an essay. Not a video essay, but an essay for school. Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny is I've become so conditioned to doing this that when I went to bed at 4:30 a.m. last night, I was like, I did a good job. Because a few weeks ago, I went to bed at 6:30 a.m. When I had to wake up at 7:45 that morning. So, it felt like a bit of a step up.
Yeah, well, for me, I was like, I wrote this essay, and I had it all written. I needed to proof a few things, and it was like 11:30 at night. I'm like, do I want to turn this in? Sure.
Yeah.
And I just finished it right there,
You told me last night
there are two kinds of people in this world.
You were watching Freaks and Geeks when your essay was due in 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Right? Man.
Yeah.
I guess you'll talk about Freaks and Geeks at the end of this episode.
I hadn't started. I was editing a video or looking for music for a video. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hitchcock. No, shut up. We're moving on.
More tangents, please.
We've got to get into this, okay? This is the biggest event of the century.
Oh, wow. I sure hope not.
Yeah, Hitchcock, what do you think is the biggest event of the century in terms of movies? And by century, I mean like 2000 to now. What has been the biggest event?
Force Awakens.
Or what will be the biggest event? Force Awakens?
Force Awakens, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Probably.
For sure.
Of course, keep in mind that, like, Revenge of the Sith came out in 2004, you know? I would assume that was a pretty big event. But still, I guess
because
they didn't bring back the original cast or anything
Last
like
Jedi,
that, so it's a big deal.
The Last Jedi is coming out, and it's not near as big, right?
That's true.
So it's the same thing. Like, when the Phantom Menace came out, what, 98? Or was that 2000?
Yeah, I think it was 99.
99?
I think Phantom Menace was 99.
Yeah, see, the hype was leading up to that. I'd imagine that hype was equal to Force Awakens, if not a little less.
Right.
But I feel like the hype for these next two Star Wars movies is going to be equal to the hype for Attack of the Clones
for the preceding
and
prequels.
Revenge.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like the first one, Phantom Menace and Force Awakens, nothing's gonna beat those two hypes in their own respective trilogies. That is,
and of course it is funny because when Force Awakens came out, people were like,
"Oh, it was
we've waited 30 years for this movie."
Yeah.
Of course they hadn't because
it's just been 10 years.
Revenge of the Sith came out, about 11 years before that. But that said, we had waited 30 years to see the original cast again, you know, and a continuation of the original trilogy, not some prequel crap.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, you could justify that
for sure.
Yeah, I guess you could say Force Awakens is the biggest event. Of course,
I don't think
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was pretty big. I mean, like, it's still, I believe. It's still the biggest opening night of all time.
Oh, opening night.
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Huh.
Yeah, and, you know, huge opening weekend and everything. And so that was a culmination of 10 years of movie making.
When that came out, that was like a time in my life where I gave no crap about movies in general, just Harry Potter, you know?
Yeah.
So I did not really feel that hype at all whatsoever. It was like me and my sister were excited, and that was it, you know?
Right. Yeah. I wasn't heavily involved in the movie world during Harry Potter's release. I mean, it was 2011. I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
But I was definitely involved in the Harry Potter world.
Oh, yeah,
and I went to the midnight premiere of Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, and people were dressed up. They had 3D glasses that looked like Harry Potter glasses. They had, you know, like Q&A, like trivia questions and everything. It was really fun. People clapped at the end of it. I loved that. So that was a big event. And also, I mean, the first Avengers was a huge deal, but I feel like mainstream-wise,
it was still very low-key. And
right.
Like, people didn't know what to expect of it, right? So, among, like, the nerds, it was huge, right?
Right.
But, like, among just your normal moviegoer, it was something risky, something new, something intriguing.
Well, and it established this.
For sure.
And now Infinity War is the culmination of everything that's been established, you know?
What an establishment. Oh, my gosh.
What an establishment. I mean, we're going to get into this, I'm sure. But just in the past few days, it's been very nostalgic, very appreciative. I've just gotten very, like, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, man. Ugh,
yeah.
It's good. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I've been recording some clips for a video. I'm re-releasing that video I did about a year ago now called The MCU Duality and Storytelling. I still think is one of my better videos. And people seem to, like, almost every time I talk to someone who I haven't met before, they say that they found me through that video.
Really?
Or that's one of their favorite videos that I've done. So I figured now with the Infinity War trailer, it might be a good time to update it with some new footage. I'm adding some additions in terms of the actual content and talking about some of the newer releases and everything. Just to sort of update it a bit.
Freshen it up, you know?
And also for that ad revenue, am I right?
Exactly. Gotta be what's hot, you know?
Yeah, gotta be what's hot, what's happening. But
oh, jeez.
So because of that, I've been collecting footage from my Blu-rays. I've just been letting all my Blu-rays
sitting
play.
Down and just watching the whole film.
Right.
Basically.
And so I've been getting footage off my Blu-rays, and in doing so, I've been kind of taking a nostalgic look back at the MCU and where we've come from, and where we've been, and where we're going,
man.
baby.
It's crazy.
And man, yeah, it really makes you appreciate it, you know?
Yeah, it really does. What
was I gonna say? Well, so this week started out with those Vanity Fair covers.
Yeah, that was nice.
Of the team and everyone on the Vanity Fair magazine with Tony Stark and Captain America and all of them, the classics, as well as some of the new characters and everything. Are you still on the line? I can't hear you. Are you still there?
There we go.
Okay.
What a way to start off the episode. What a way.
I know. I kept talking, and then I was like, he's not saying yeah or
he's not saying yeah.
This is weird. What I was saying was this week started out with Vanity Fair covers.
Very nice looking.
And those were a nice way to get us hyped for the week. I also think that because people talked about the look of the characters on the Vanity Fair covers, because like Thor has his hammer and both eyes, and Cap doesn't have a beard or anything.
Yeah.
But I think the idea was this is like a look back at the MCU in kind of its prime, like the.
But he's not. Thor's not wearing the same getup as he does. He's got the short hair, right? So.
Right. Yeah. I think it's just kind of a conglomeration for each character's look of like where we've come from.
I love how with Spidey and the Wasp, they have got the extension cables, right, holding them up, and of course Feige and Stanley, that's
Feige, Stanley, so cool. Downey Jr.
That's
real
so
good.
Cool. That's like the ultimate trio right there, man.
Well, yeah, and Vanity Fair's article about Marvel. Did you read it when I told you to read it?
I did not. No.
I'm not gonna read the whole thing out loud. We know
please
better.
Please don't.
But it was a really good article. They detailed. I mean, it was very extensive. They detailed how Marvel got started, the whole thing in terms of them struggling a ton with money in the 90s and selling off Spider-Man and the X-Men to Sony and everything and Fox. And then essentially talking about how Feige came in with a vision and went, I'm gonna bring comics to life, and I'm gonna do this ambitious project where we make something that is as expansive and huge and vast as a comic book universe is. And they talked about his kind of struggles with it and failures, and then the ways he succeeded, and then how he really sparked the fire for it. And the way that he's really a fanboy. Like, he talked about that and how,
right?
Yeah, he is so good about knowing the source material and knowing what makes good Marvel comics and why people love these characters, which is so important. That's obviously something that Zack Snyder does not understand, why people love Superman or Batman. He understands Batman more than Superman, but still.
Yeah.
And also, I thought one of the intriguing things that I liked was the way that he talks about some of his influences and role models, and one of them is Walt Disney.
Yeah.
And he works for the Disney company, so But I thought that was really insightful because he really is kind of a Walt Disney of this generation.
Yeah, for sure,
Obviously not as huge, but he has created a platform and a universe and an empire that now has a life of its own.
Yeah.
Where
never been done before leading up to this,
Right.
To this
I feel
extent,
like at one point or another, it's got a life of its own where he could step away and it would continue and still be successful and huge.
For sure.
I think we need him. Like he's very important
we
to the
need
whole
him
thing.
for as long as he can give himself.
But just like with Walt Disney, if they step away, it's still got a life of its own and it's bigger than them.
Yeah.
Now that they've created it.
Yeah.
So it's a really good article, and it goes into other stuff about Iron Man's success and leading up to Infinity War. He talks about the coolest thing is talking about the future of the MCU and the ways that Infinity War will change it.
For that, yeah.
They've got like 20 movies planned after this, of course.
What in the name of?
But you know what? Like 5 years ago, I would have said, I doubt that'll ever happen. Those 20 movies, it'll die before then. But at this point, we've come so far. And I would have never thought
so
in a million
successful.
years that we would have made it this far, that we would get this Infinity War movie. I would have never thought that it would happen.
Yeah.
So now the prospect of 20 more movies after this is like, I could see it happening, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say whether they'll decline in quality, whether they'll get better in quality, whether the public will just stop liking superhero movies, but I think there's a very real possibility that it will continue. And even I think Feige is, I mean, he's so much more aware of the climate in terms of movies than the DC executives, because he talks about in the article the idea of superhero fatigue and needing to spice up this universe and give it more stakes, and
instead
not wanting
having
superhero movies to go the way of the Western.
Opposite people just punch each other, right? You know?
Right.
Like,
so, yeah, I think he gets it. He gets what could drag the MCU down eventually, and he's actively trying to combat that in the best way that he can. So he's brilliant.
That's
he's
partly
awesome.
got to be him listening to the fans as well, though. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like he's very engaging, and he hears the criticism, and
and humble.
The success of the Russo brothers on Civil War and Winter Soldier. You know, it's like, bring these guys back, because if anyone can do it, it's them. You know, it's just it's really cool, man. It's so incredible what they've accomplished, man.
So yesterday, we found out, and it was we got those Vanity Fair covers on Monday, and everyone was like, when are they gonna what's the skinny doodle, right?
Something's happening, man. Something's
brewing. They're gonna do something. And also a few clips from the trailer had leaked, little snippets, which weren't even in the trailer, I don't think, but little snippets from the trailer and everything had leaked the night before, and no one knows how that happened. So that was a bit of a fiasco, but we did see a clip of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which was cool. Not much to say, but it looks good. Looks really good. But so anyway, it was up in the air for the week, and then finally yesterday, on Tuesday, they said, all right, we are releasing trailer tomorrow.
They released a very nostalgic video of.
They released a nostalgic video of the fans reacting. My despised reaction videos on YouTube.
Even though you despise them, you gotta admit that was nice. That gave me chills. It was nice.
It was nice. It gave me chills. It gave me chills down my spine like Peter Parker with spider sense.
So cool to see that montage, honestly, of how far they've come. You know.
And then look how far we've come. And then they released a teaser poster for Infinity War with the Avengers logo.
Or Tom Holland accidentally live streamed it, you know.
Right. And I think it's clear that wasn't an accident.
Oh yeah, that was staged for sure.
But yeah, it's fun because it clearly pleases yours and mine our yearning for OCD consistency.
Yes, it's beautiful. That's my wallpaper right now. Someone chopped it up into thirds and just put the first one, second one, and then the third one, you know.
Yeah.
So cool. It's going to be such a...
Yeah, so for those who don't know, for the first Avengers, they released a teaser poster that was just a giant A.
Giant A, silvery, nice silvery,
Assemble 2012.
Metallic feel.
For Age of Ultron, they released
the red and Ultron.
Yeah, it's a red Ultron metallic
gears.
Gears kind of thing. And then with this, it's like a shiny purple.
It's just Cosmos, basically. You know?
Yeah, it's like a Cosmos. It reminded me of like an Aurora Borealis.
Definitely.
Behind it. And I think some people said it's kind of supposed to look like the Infinity Stones or something.
Yeah.
Do you want me to point out the one difference, which may ruin your OCD?
No, isn't it like slightly zoomed out or zoomed in or something?
No. That's fine. But it's the first one says Assemble 2012.
Oh, yes. I
Second one says Assemble 2015. This one says Infinity May 4th. Nope.
Simple Photoshop fix, though.
Oh, yeah. We could fix that.
That could be easily. Oh, no. It's got an A in the May, though. And so it's like a little A-ception, you know? You got the little A inside the big A.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, Marvel Studios changed ownership between them. So on the first teaser poster, it says Paramount. On the second one, it says Disney. And on the third one, it says Disney. That's just a little Easter egg. Only 90s kids will remember when Avengers was owned by Paramount.
Back in the day. Oh, the logo changes too. Yeah,
Isn't it funny to think that back when the Avengers was released, Marvel was still owned by Paramount and not Disney?
Yeah, that's weird, man.
That's
crazy.
Weird.
Yeah, what movies were made under the Paramount license?
Iron Man, Hulk, First Avenger, Thor, Iron Man 2, and then Avengers. And then by Iron Man 3, they had switched to Disney, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think I recall back when Iron Man 3 came out and people disliked it, even though it's great.
Yeah.
And then Thor: The Dark World followed after that, which obviously sucked. I think I recall people saying, it's that Disney influence. They're ruining it. The Disney's going to ruin it. The mouse is taking over, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you know, I guess it kind of made sense at the time because Thor: The Dark World sucked. But Iron Man 3 is really good. Shut up, fam.
Sure. For sure.
All right. So this morning, on Good Morning America at 8:30 a.m. my time, Eastern time, which is the only time that matters, they released the Avengers Infinity War trailer.
Yes.
Let's talk about it, Hitchcock.
Let's.
Give me your experience. Where did you watch it? Who did you watch it with? On what did you watch it on? Did you record your reaction? Did you scream? Did you cry? Did you dance? Did you prance? Was it an event of a lifetime, Hitchcock? Just tell me it all.
I think what happened was I woke up at like 8:30 my time maybe, and you texted saying like, "What? Infinity War trailer."
Accurate summary.
I think I went back to bed. And then I think I woke up at 9:30. And I looked, and there was some more tweets, and you texted me, and like, did you see this? And I think I went back to bed. And then I think I woke up at 10:30, and I finally got up and watched it.
This trailer woke me up this morning. I woke up without an alarm this morning to watch this trailer. I woke up before my alarm went off, because I was gotta watch the trailer.
I slept through my alarm like twice for this trailer.
Wow.
I was totally stoked for this. It was just like, for some reason, I was just like, I was super tired, and I did not want to wake up and like watch this when I was all groggy,
right?
And just, like half asleep.
Yeah.
I just want to get my sleep. So I don't know. I just waited till it was like 10:30, and I should get up and start life, you know.
So then it was 10:30. Hitchcock got out of bed,
pulled up the thing on the phone, and just watched it. You know.
Yeah.
It was a very I don't know, normal trailer experience. I guess, I don't know. I mean, it was. I mean, the trailer itself, fantastic. I was beaming with joy. Just so many good things about it. But as for the experience, very chill. So
yeah. Well, I woke up at. Shall I recount my adventure, sir? I woke up at 7:45 a.m. And
after going to bed at 4:30.
Correct, indeed. And then immediately got onto my computer, pulled up Twitter, and started refreshing. And then usually I have to if I want to get to school on time, I have to leave by 8:30. But I had been refreshing for minutes. And then suddenly I looked around, and it was 8:30 already. And the trailer still hadn't dropped. And I was like, oof. No. Oof. So then I started packing all my stuff up while... Like I would put a book in my bag, then run back and click refresh, then put another book in my bag, then run back and click refresh. And then finally, around like 8:45 or something like that, I may have the times wrong, I don't know. But around then, the trailer finally loaded up. And you know what was annoying though? I kept refreshing Twitter, and Good Morning America kept, for every commercial break, they'd be like, the Infinity War trailer's coming soon. It's coming up next. Nice. And people would post the screen caps because they would show like 3 seconds of the trailer each time. Where they'd be like, the trailer's up next. And they'd show a couple shots from it or something. And I was like, freaking heck. So I kept seeing more and more shots on Twitter as they trended without the actual thing going up. So finally, it went online. And I was like, I guess I better record a reaction for this. Just in case. And I did.
Oh!
And I will not be releasing it because, first of all, I look very groggy and tired, as you so aptly
groggy
avoided.
and tired as I'm late for school.
Right. And my hair looks really bad because, as I said, I got it cut the night before, and it looks bad. Even in my school photo, it looks bad.
Yeah.
And then I watched the trailer, and I grinned throughout.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy. I exclaimed once, "Oh, that Silvestri theme."
Beautiful.
But that's the depth of my reaction. So I just feel that is not sufficient content to post
not at all,
on
man.
any social media of
Not
any
at
kind
all.
and make money off of. I know that some other people on the internet don't feel that way. They feel that would be perfectly adequate to put up on the internet and make money off of. But I have higher freaking standards than that, Hitchcock. That's what I'm talking about. It's not like I just re-release videos with new footage to make more money.
Someone's salty.
Got him good.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So anyway, I watched it. It was really good.
It was.
I loved it.
I'm stoked. I'm hyped.
I am very excited. It didn't blow my mind.
It didn't blow my mind.
But I feel like I'm at the point, even just in life, at this point,
where life is just becoming
not
more
much
and more
blows my
underwhelming.
mind. Yeah, like Christmas doesn't feel like a thing anymore.
Oh, no.
Halloween didn't feel like a thing anymore. Thanksgiving didn't feel like a thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Turning into an old grumpy adult, man.
I know, man. It sucks. I feel like
Christmas
nothing's
is always
special.
going to be a thing. God.
If you love Christmas in your heart, Hitchcock, it will always find you. If you believe you can.
Oh,
you believe in the Christmas magic.
Let's get back to Infinity War, shall we?
Yes. That said, while my mind wasn't blown, it was probably the closest to having my mind blown that a trailer could come.
Okay.
So, that's
Sure.
what I'll say.
Sure.
Yeah, what should we start with?
What should we start with? Jeez,
What
I
did
don't
you
know.
think of? I'm just going to scroll through my screenshots and
Oh, okay.
because I screenshotted every shot from this trailer so I could post them all. So the trailer opens up with the classic Nick Fury quote from the first film where he says, "There was an idea. If we could bring together," and it's different Avengers are saying each line, which is fun.
Yeah, nice.
That we could bring together a group of people. I was like, this is very nostalgic, very, very throwback, very. We're going back to our roots. There was an idea. We could bring together a group of remarkable people, and they could be something more.
They could do stuff.
They could do stuff.
They could do stuff, yeah.
And we see some shots of first of all, the first shot of the trailer is this planet. It's an orange kind of planet that it looks like they're going to be fighting Thanos on. There's been a lot of speculation. I guess we're just going to start speculation. There's been a lot of speculation as to what
it is. Yeah.
that planet is. Is it Earth or is it a planet that they fight on? Do they go through a portal to fight on it, or is like Thanos terraforming Earth like we always see villains do?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know.
I think I may have an answer, but
I don't think it's Earth.
I don't think so either.
I want to say, we don't know what that big circle thing is, do we?
You know why I don't think it's Earth?
Why?
Because I have basic knowledge of our solar system, and in that shot,
did you calculate the distance from the sun
in
to
that
this
shot,
planet?
there is a blinding white glowing orb in the sky, which doesn't look like any of the planets or the moon that orbit our Earth. So, safe to say, I think it's an alien planet.
What are you talking about? Let's see here.
Let's see here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like a blinding white light. Yeah, it looks like a supernova or something in the distance. So
yeah, that doesn't look like our sun.
I don't think it's Earth.
Oh, no, but then there's another. Looks like there's two. There's two lights, because there's a light coming from. There's that white light, but then there's another one coming from the right.
Oh?
It's the orange glow, right?
I don't know.
So, yeah, this is definitely not Earth. I don't think it is Earth.
My prediction is...
There's a hurricane going on. Gee whiz.
What do you mean, outside your house?
No, on this planet. You can see
Oh.
the eye of the storm.
Right.
Where's your knowledge of the weather here, Houston? Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I have astrological knowledge, but not weather knowledge. I think the dealio is probably that the big circle thing that we see portals at the beginning of the trailer. Yeah, it's a big old portal.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Those are portals that he's going to be using to bounce places. But then we see him materialize a portal, don't we?
Right. Yeah. It seems like he's tearing holes in reality.
I don't know. Yeah. This just doesn't. This can't be Earth. They're not going to destroy. It's a machine.
The big circle thing. For those who don't know, we're talking about there's like a big circular ship that appears in the sky that Peter Parker sees, and they're seen fighting around. It's like some sort of machinery. It almost looks like a roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like rotating and almost like a gyrosphere or something. I don't know. Maybe it's sucking everything into it or something like that. You know?
That wouldn't be cliche at all.
Yeah, I know, right? That would be awful. I feel like they'd do something smarter than that. And obviously the worst case scenario would be he's generically coming to terraform the planet to make it one of his own. It's going to turn Earth into a hellscape, just like the world he's from. We haven't seen that before.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I highly doubt it's that. But what would it be? Like, what does Thanos want to do?
Is it? It's got the red. Maybe it's something Stark built.
That's true.
Maybe something Stark built and screwed up. You know, because that's
Stark.
Initial. It looks like it does look like it has that crimson red, right?
That's a good point. I doubt that it would be something that Stark did, but at the same time, I remember back in it was like 2 years ago now, but they did that. They did some sort of like ABC special where they mentioned some Infinity War details, and they showed like that concept art of Rocket and Thor fighting together and everything. That was like a year ago or 2 years ago, but I remember specifically them talking about Tony Stark has gotten even more paranoid.
Yeah.
And he's been building even more crazy contraptions to try to defend the Earth. Mm-hmm. So,
but like that is like that's huge. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's so.
Also, Peter Parker seems shocked to see it, as if it's appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which kind of reminded me of like Arrival, where they see the egg ships just sort of appear.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
But maybe like, I don't know what Stark would be doing. I do think. I have a suspicion that Tony Stark will have, between these movies, he will have been becoming more prepared.
Sure.
And researching stuff, and I think maybe even when we first see him in this, he'll know who someone like Doctor Strange is already. Like, I feel like
definitely.
He almost
I agree,
may have started inhabiting the kind of similar role that Batman and Wonder Woman did in Justice League, where he's maybe at least getting other heroes on his radar to know who can help him defend the Earth when Thanos comes or something.
For sure.
So yeah. Maybe he built it, maybe he didn't. Bottom line is, we don't know.
It looks cool.
It looks kind of cool. I've heard some people say it looks like Prometheus, but
okay.
People said that in the first Avengers movie that the Leviathan Chitauri whale creatures looked like Transformers. So, you know, what can you do?
You can't please everyone, you know?
No, you can't, Jacob Suggs. You can't. I'm looking at you, Suggs.
Oh, shoot.
Got him.
Direct hit, man.
Direct hit. Right in the face. What else? We see like a sort of some montages of our heroes in their heroic, looking off into the distance, something's about to happen stances, right? That we always get in these trailers. We've got Doctor Strange and Wong together.
Yeah, great characters.
They're both employing their classic orange discs.
That effect is so cool looking. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, so nice.
I do wish they knew how to do something other than orange discs.
Orange discs. Orange shields.
Because that's literally all he does in this entire trailer. And even in the leaked trailer, he's making orange discs for Peter Quill to hop on. So
got some whips, you know?
Just call him Orange Disc Man. Yeah, I enjoy when he does those whips in Doctor Strange. They're cool.
Nice. It's very nice.
Anyway, we see them together. Bruce Banner, and I looked. He's in some sort of like broken wood.
Broken wood
situation.
Yeah, very very insightful.
Yeah,
he's just come crashing
through
the roof, the sanctum sanctorum.
Right. Yeah, I know, because then in another shot we see that it was their stairs. He's fallen through the main staircase in the sanctum. So somehow Bruce Banner has fallen through the roof, and Strange and Wong have come out to investigate.
Yeah, because he was up chilling with the Asgardians.
Right. Yeah, and then
so maybe Thanos is just like, get out of here, and just like baseball chucks him through the universe.
Well, right. That's what I'm wondering is, I mean,
seriously, how does he get back?
Well, you could do the thing that Doctor Strange does in Thor Ragnarok, where like they're in a fight and then suddenly Hulk is whisked away through a Doctor Strange portal into the sanctum or something. Or
maybe Tony's like, hey, Doctor Strange, I need you to help a buddy of mine.
That's true. Maybe help me locate him. Yeah, because we know that Tony is with Strange in that scene, and so either Bruce Banner falls through the roof and Strange is like, who's this guy, and then contacts Tony Stark and he comes.
For sure.
Or Tony Stark came to ask him to locate Banner, which is possible. I think that's very possible.
Which would make sense because Tony and Banner, they have that. They're scientific buddies, right? So
right, you need to reunite the science
bros. You gotta.
Yeah.
Maybe he still got those clothes of Tony. Maybe Tony.
Of course, optionally, it might not be Doctor Strange. It might be Thanos, like, kicked him through a port. Like, Thanos could tear a hole in reality and just kicked him through it or something.
Yeah, but why would he choose to tear why would he choose the other side to be Earth?
Who's to say? Why would he choose the Sanctum Sanctorum?
Yeah, honestly.
Also, Bruce Banner is Bruce Banner, not the Hulk, so interesting predicament there.
Yeah, I imagine he would crashing through, then turn back.
I wonder
how much more control he will have over the Hulk, Because it's definitely developing a little bit more, right?
Mark Ruffalo said that there's going to be a 3-movie arc with Hulk that started with Ragnarok. It'll go through Infinity War, and then it'll end with Avengers 4, this sort of arc that's going on. And I think it'll have something to do with...
So we know who's not dying. Great job.
Yeah, good job. I think it'll have something to do with, like, what he said in Ragnarok, which is that he had no control over Hulk when he was Hulk. And he didn't even know if he wanted to go back to Hulk because he might not even be able to come back as Banner.
Sure.
So I think it'll have something to do with balancing his two personalities or something like that, basically the arc from the first Avengers movie.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
That brings me to another thing. I think in this movie, he may be having trouble turning into the Hulk. Maybe he's having trouble doing it. Maybe it's like erectile dysfunction.
Oh my god.
Are you having trouble turning into the Hulk for more than an hour?
What have you done?
And I'll get to why I think.
What have you done? Oh.
I think.
Why? You had to make this awkward, man. Come on.
Oh my god. I'm proud of that one. No, but in the trailer, we see Banner standing next to the Hulkbuster armor, and he's like holding one of the big gauntlets, the big arms. And then later on, we see the Hulkbuster armor in that fight with the Wakandan field with Cap and Bucky and Rhodes and all of them there.
Yeah. Your point?
My theory is that Banner cannot turn into the Hulk in that situation, and so he gets into the Hulkbuster suit and uses that instead.
Really?
I think that's totally going to happen.
Really?
I'm literally almost 100% sure. Yeah. Because there's a shot of him holding the gauntlet. Thus far, it doesn't look like Tony Stark is in Wakanda with them during that scene. Because we haven't seen him. We've only seen the Hulkbuster armor in one shot.
Yeah,
and also, I feel like it just makes sense for Banner's arc. I feel like he's going to have trouble turning into the Hulk for more than an hour. And so the Hulkbuster armor is his erectile dysfunction medicine. His Hulktile dysfunction medicine.
What have you done, man? What have you done? But yeah, that for sure would be interesting. I dig some some Banner Iron Man cosplay.
Yeah. I think that could be an interesting thing. And
but then
even
you see Hulk
even the one
you
shot,
see Hulk at the end running with them.
Right. So my theory on that is either
that does look like the battle has progressed a little bit into the forest, though, because they're running through the forest, right?
Right, exactly. My theory is either that happens later, and by then he's mastered his powers again.
He's gonna get his butt kicked a little bit, maybe, and get some banging in the head.
Alternatively, they may have just added him in that shot in post because
maybe
they do that
maybe it's
all the
Hulkbuster
time.
running behind him.
Yeah, because like in I just watched a comparison. The Avengers Age of Ultron trailers, the shot where Thor says, "Is that the best you can do?"
Yeah, there's
Remember
Quicksilver and Scarlet and Vision.
Yeah, in the trailers, it's only the original cast. In the movie, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Vision are all also in that shot. So they can literally change whatever they want.
For sure.
So I actually think maybe in the final version, he's in the Hulkbuster armor in that scene, or he's not there. So that's my theory. My hot take, if you please. Maybe it'll turn out to be right.
I wonder if
it won't,
Thanos.
but maybe it will.
Maybe Thanos has something to do that with this. Maybe Thanos does something to him that prevents him from. Because in the comics, Thanos fears Hulk, right? Like that's like his
I want to see Hulk battle Thanos.
Oh yeah, heck yeah! But I feel like maybe Thanos got a hold of Banner and did something to him. That prevents him from turning into the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Because that would make some sense, because.
I'm also wondering about the placement of these battles because the two major battles we've seen so far
are on that orange planet and
the orange planet with
Wakanda.
The people we know are there during that scene
Wakanda
are
forever.
Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Tony Stark, Peter Quill is there based on a leaked trailer that we saw from Comic-Con. He's there on the orange planet.
Yeah.
All of them are there, and then on the Wakanda battle, we know that Hulk is there, Cap is there, Bucky's there,
Scarlet, Black Panther, War Machine.
Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, Black Panther, all of them, and the army of Wakandans. Thus far, there hasn't been any crossover.
Yeah,
like we haven't seen Black Panther in the Orange Planet stuff, and we haven't seen Spider-Man in the Wakandan thing. Yeah, we haven't seen Cap and Iron Man together. So my theory is those two battles occur simultaneously in the third act.
That's what I was thinking as well.
And maybe even the two teams do not meet up. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I could totally see that happening, for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like it would almost work better as an arc, as this sort of Empire Strikes Back thing, where they realize that even though they
got to come together.
Right, they've got to come together right now. And that's what makes Avengers 4 so powerful, is that then they're really coming together, baby.
Yeah.
They came together once, but now they're coming together. Together.
That would be fair. I could totally see that happening, for sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else, too. Dang it. Yeah, maybe like Thanos, they're fighting Thanos on the orange planet or whatever, right? And then they're fighting some of Thanos' children down on Wakanda,
Right. When it looks like he does, armies. I mean, I am a little bit annoyed by this, that he has an army of disposable minions that they're going to have to tear through.
But what I mean, I guess what else were you going to expect, though,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm very intrigued to see.
I guess you could have had like Thanos and his children, and the Avengers would have to do some like classic Power Rangers, like form up together to defeat the big dude, right?
Well, and like I feel like you could do it in other ways than battles. Like, what if the Avengers were fighting Thanos, and then the other battles are like they're all fighting Red Skull's there and Hela's there, and they fight
for sure.
Like a team, maybe 5 or so of lesser villains, but still powerful ones,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that could work. It might be kind of cheesy, like then it would be like, we're the team of supervillains coming to fight, but
definitely.
I don't know, I think it could work. Like, especially I've always thought that Red Skull would be an awesome sort of lesser kind of mercenary for them to take out that's Thanos' right-hand man or something.
We don't see any other, like, I think on the Orange Planet, it'll probably just be Thanos and maybe some of, what's the group of his kids called?
I don't know. The Black Order. That's what it is. The Black Order.
So maybe it's, I think on the Orange Planet, it would be him and some of the Black Order, and then maybe on Wakanda, maybe it's like one leader of this army going up against them. And then in the final one, maybe they have to regroup, and then they just go up against the full Black Order and Thanos himself, right? So they completely ditch this disposable army, you know, which I think that would work for sure. So, that sneeze. Come on.
Yeah, I think you know, it could definitely work if these two battles are happening simultaneously, so that we're not devoting our entire attention to this big disposable army battle. And we also have the Thanos one going on, definitely. So then it kind of balances itself out, and we're not overwhelmed by that, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I am, because we've never seen the Avengers fight one guy, you know?
No.
Like, I'm intrigued by that concept, because so often they really do, like all superhero movies, resort to disposable, even the best superhero movies resort to disposable minions, because you just have to do that, and you have to have people have something to do. But I want to see a villain that literally is so powerful that all of the heroes have to fight him at once to beat him, you know? And maybe his children, the Black Order. And obviously, like, the Black Order stuff will play into the Gamora and Nebula thing, because I think, you know, I mean, they're obviously their siblings, so that plays into that whole dynamic. I'm sure that factors in somehow. But yeah, so that's cool.
What else? Thanos. Yeah, about Thanos. What do you think of, like, his whole, like, they've changed his skin tone and all that? What do you think of that?
I think it looks good. I don't think people are making a huge deal about it.
They really are.
Some people love it. Some people hate it. People are like, he looks so much different than he did before. I don't think he looks that much different. He's just wearing different clothes. Yeah. He does look a little bit like he just got out of the gym. Like he's wearing like a tank top almost.
Yeah, buddy.
It is kind of funny.
Yeah. I dig it though.
Yeah, I think I dig it too. And he looks better than Steppenwolf, that's for sure.
He looks very intimidating, honestly. Well, from like, you know?
As well as, of course, you know, this isn't finalized effects. I mean, we saw with Spider-Man Homecoming, they changed the effects in literally every trailer. They improved in every trailer until the final product. So, you know.
And I feel like maybe as he's gaining more Infinity Stones, maybe his appearance himself is changing due to that much power, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a bit cliche, but maybe I could totally see that being a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I dig the way he looks for sure. I think he's very
do as well, and
intimidating.
I think I have a lot of faith that they're going to establish him as a villain really well. You know?
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be hard because freaking this movie has so much to establish. But
if there's anyone that can do it.
If you think about it, there are a lot of characters in this movie who don't have to have too much screen time.
No.
You know? Like, we'll probably have 1 or 2 scenes with Scarlet Witch and Vision, and that will be enough. We'll have, I mean, we don't even need a full scene with, like, Rhodey.
No.
Rhodey will just be there, and that'll be fine.
Yeah, because that's the thing. They've established all these characters so stinking well. All they need to do is just continue with what they're doing, you know? They don't need, like, from where they are, because we know, because we've had, like, the concept.
We get it.
With Thor Ragnarok, we know where Thor and Hulk have ended up.
And I feel like the dialogue is going to play off enough that we get everyone's motivation. Civil War did a great job of that, where we didn't have a ton of time to see what, you know, Ant-Man or Rhodey or you know, Vision's motivations were, but we had a couple scenes and they bounced off their dialogue with each other and we got it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So I really do think it's going to work, and I think they're going to have time to balance out Thanos.
Yeah.
I hope they play up the whole in love with death thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that will give him a lot more
for sure. I hope he's just not some dude that's like, I want to destroy the universe, you know? Like, I mean, we've already seen that, you know? I mean, Steppenwolf and Hela, both. They're just like, I want to rule, you know? With basically no really strong motivation. And I think for sure that love with
even
death
in the MCU, we really haven't had, I don't think we've had a villain that was motivated by love for someone. Like, that's an interesting concept.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
Sure.
The idea of being motivated by a romantic relationship rather than
I guess you
else.
could Vulture somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and then he's one of the best, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It just goes to show it's very effective, and I think for sure they could, if they do it right, and he could be a great villain, you know?
Yeah.
So
what would you think about introducing Hela back into this. She survived Ragnarok, and he's in love with her. She's death.
Oh. I could dig that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
For those who don't know, we're talking in such cryptic terms here. We just assume that everyone's on the same page as us, because most people who listen to this are. But classic Thanos lore, the Thanos lore, if you please, is that he is in love with the physical embodiment of death.
Yeah.
So in some cases, she's just called Death. In some cases, it means Hela, who is the character from Thor Ragnarok. Kind of swaps out. But at the end of the first Avengers movie, his counselor says he's in counseling, and his counselor says,
"Everyone needs it, man. Okay, just back off."
He says, "To challenge them, the Avengers, is to court death."
Yeah, exactly.
And then he turns around and he smiles because he wants to court death. See, get it? So
gotta impress the ladies, you know.
Gotta impress the ladies by killing people. So that's the whole Thanos thing. And so many have speculated that maybe they will turn Hela, who is the goddess of death, even though she has nothing to do with death. She just makes swords appear out of thin air, but whatever. That maybe they'll turn her into that character. And he is in love with her, and that's his motivation somehow. He wants to please her by killing and wiping out people.
I could totally see that working. I think that add more depth to her character. Like from Thor, because she is very shallow and just boring villain. So I think that adds more depth to her. Maybe like Death, that's just one of the forms she takes is as Hela. You know, maybe she has a different appearance or whatever. You know, so I could totally see that working for sure. But I wouldn't be opposed if they didn't do that and just went with completely different. You know,
right?
So
I don't know if she. Like, I'm really anxious to see how this movie transitions from Ragnarok to this. Because I feel like introducing her would be... She just seems like she's in a different movie than this one. She's such a campy villain, you know? Like, and that's putting
just having a good time on Asgard.
At her best, she's a campy cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon villain who's like, I will take over the world. Yeah. And maybe that's fine. You know, that's what that movie is. It's a Saturday morning cartoon. But I feel like a Saturday morning cartoon is not what I want to fit in the Infinity War.
In the destruction of the universe as we know it.
Right. You know, like that time that Asgard was destroyed and no one cared and they made jokes. Remember that time, Hitchcock? Remember that time?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. But yeah, I could see it failing for sure.
It is pretty hilarious, though, the jarring twist that's going to go on. Because, I mean, I think it's almost 100% confirmed at this point that Thanos wipes out that entire ship of Asgardians at the beginning of the movie.
I mean, he's gotta, right?
Yeah. Like, the trailer starts and Loki is standing among dead bodies on a spaceship somewhere.
Yeah.
He's wearing the same outfit from Ragnarok. And
did you say the movie starts or the trailer starts?
Trailer starts.
You did?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes, I said yes.
Okay. I might have heard movie.
Anyway, trailer starts with that, and I looked at the bodies that are strewn around Loki.
You studied the dead.
I looked at the bodies. I studied the dead. Did some nice forensics.
No, jeez.
And they look like Asgardians. The hairstyles look kind of like this whole weird medieval.
That would add some serious weight because, like, I heard speculation, like, Thanos is just basically gonna fulfill, like, Ragnarok being. I mean, not Phil. Asgard being destroyed, you know, and it was like at the end of Thor, they're like, Asgard's the people, not the place.
It's
and
a people, not a place.
They're like, we tricked you, slipped out of that trap, you know, but no, they just, and by doing that, they fell into another one, you know, which would totally make sense. It adds so much depth to Thor, you know, and what he's feeling, I think, you know, and that would also, like, speculation that, Heimdall has a Infinity
I was thinking about that,
right? So maybe Thanos has captured Heimdall, and he's because we see him with the gauntlet, but he doesn't have. He only has two. The one from which he has the Tesseract and the one from Vision.
It looks like he has the Tesseract, which Loki gives him, and the Power Stone from Guardians, which he presumably steals from the Nova Corps.
Oh, yes, okay. So
And then in the leaked scene that we got, he's interrogating the Collector and asking where the reality one, which is from Thor Ragnarok or Thor Dark World.
So maybe he's captured Heimdall, because I'm almost certain. I mean, Heimdall's gotta have an Infinity Stone, you know?
Right. Everybody thinks that because Heimdall can look into the souls of everyone in the world. He can read. Yeah. I guess he can read thoughts. He can see all, and he glows yellow. Like his eyes glow yellow and everything. Yeah. So lots of people take that as a setup for the Soul Stone, which is yellow.
And so maybe I think Thanos has a hold of Heimdall, but he does not know how to retrieve the stone from him yet.
Yeah, right? It would be interesting to see maybe Heimdall's in a cage, and he's like, I'm going to drain that stone out of you if I have to break every bone in your body.
Yeah, basically.
And we've never seen Heimdall in an Avengers movie, so that would be an interesting dynamic
Heimdall's
as well.
boss, man. He's great.
I could see that happening. I definitely could see. Sure. And it would be, because that would be so much simpler for the writers than to have to figure out another way to establish
another Infinity Stone. Like, man, that's difficult, right?
Of course, you could just do what Justice League did, which is just say that the Atlanteans have one and the Man has one, which happens to be with Cyborg's dad,
buried in the
earth. The Themyscirians have one. The Themyscirians.
But in reality, just Tony Stark's had it this whole time. You know, he's just been
right. Tony Stark just had it. Yeah.
Right. So.
Of course, he'll have to get the one from Doctor Strange, which is the Time Stone, and we know. I mean, we see him in this taking the Mind Stone from.
I feel like
Vision.
the Time Stone's gonna be the last one he gets if he does get it.
Right, and I think that's the biggest deal because I think. I mean, I don't know if I want to wait on this now. I'll just talk about it now, I guess. I think this movie is going to end with him getting all the Infinity Stones.
You think?
And then he just freaking wrecks havoc. Like, he goes back and maybe he uses the Time Stone to reverse time. Maybe he kills people. Maybe he goes back in time somehow and they don't know where he went. I don't know. But if he gets all 6 Infinity Stones, he's literally God.
Yeah,
and
he's unstoppable.
So they're wrecked at the end of this. I think that's how it ends.
You think?
But it's also, I think, like, what's interesting is what we were talking about a few minutes ago, which is that, like, Thanos in this, we expect that scene where they're fighting Thanos on the orange planet, that's going to be in the third act. But in that scene, he only has 2 Infinity Stones. So if that's in the third act, when does he get the reality gem from the Collector? When does he get the Soul Gem from Heimdall? When does he get the Mind Stone from Vision? When does that happen? When do all of these events take place, and when does he finally get them? Of course, again, Marvel could be altering maybe he has all 6 in that scene, and they've altered the footage. But why would you do that? I don't really think if he had all 6, they would show it in that scene. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's interesting. I don't know. Like, because if he does get him, like, I guess I go, like, I'm wondering, is there any time in between this Infinity War and the next one? You know, because if there is, and if it ends with him having all 6, and there's time in between, like, I mean, if the last one he gets is the time gem, then he's probably on Earth, which means Earth is done for it, you know?
Well, yeah. The movies in between Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2, for lack of a better name, are Captain Marvel, which is set in the 90s, so that has no bearing.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man and the Wasp, which we don't know when it's set. Yeah. So in theory, you could say that Ant-Man and the Wasp, even though it comes out after Infinity War, is set before Infinity War.
Yeah, sure.
Because, like they did with that was Spider-Man Homecoming. I mean, Homecoming is set a few months after Civil War, which...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Would then place it like it takes place before, like Doctor Strange, I guess, or something like that, you know?
I wonder if that's going to be the same for Black Panther too. Maybe Black Panther is set no, yeah, because the aftermath of Civil War and his dad dying.
Yeah, and I think Black Panther is going to lead directly into Infinity War because we've got the whole Bucky situation where he's under the ice in Wakanda, and then this whole invasion in Wakanda thing. Also, I mean, it will be interesting. Man, this is interesting.
No, let's hear it.
Because when my a friend of mine was an extra on Black Panther, and they can't tell me anything, but they did say that there was an actor there who no one knew was going to be in the movie and hasn't been shown in the trailers and is a big star.
Oh no, we're gonna be hunted down by Marvel now that you said this.
No.
You son of a.
But so, because in this trailer we see Steve Rogers and Natasha.
Can we just capture that dude and just torture him?
Yeah, just capture him and torture him. Yeah, let's go do it. Let's go get him doing it now. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down.
But it seems like in this trailer that the ones who were fugitives in Civil War, so Sam Wilson, Cap, Natasha, Bucky, all of them have taken refuge in Wakanda. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, they're going to be chilling on Wakanda.
And that's where Steve has been chilling. Yeah. Maybe
that
not.
makes sense because they're chilling there, and then that's the battle. They're there when the invasion of Wakanda happens in this trailer.
I mean, maybe not, because we see Steve in that cage area with Scarlet Witch, which doesn't seem to be in Wakanda, and he's got that spear is thrown at him and everything. So maybe that's where he's been hiding out, you know. But
does he have a suit on? He does.
Yeah.
In that scene, so that could easily be after Wakanda because he's got that suit on in Wakanda, right? So that could be easily after like the battle ends, then he goes, right?
So basically, long story short, my question is, will some of the Avengers be hiding out in Wakanda, and if so, will we see them in Black Panther?
Yeah.
And will that lead directly into Infinity War? I think the answer is yes.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Whether it's Steve or whether it's just Bucky, I don't know, but we'll definitely see somebody in Black Panther.
For sure. You've reached the point in this Marvel movies where if you don't have like another Avenger, like it's just not a Marvel movie, right?
But I love that at this point. I love that this universe is unified enough now where it's just commonplace.
And it can
tied
feel
together.
so natural and fit so well, you know.
Yeah.
So at times, if done right.
Man.
Man.
There's a lot. Like
a lot.
It's funny because it seems like this is predictable, but it's not. Like there's a lot that we don't know, you know. And it did a good job. The trailer did of not revealing too much of the plot details.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what Thanos' plan is. We don't know if he gets all the Infinity Stones. We don't know what the machine is. We don't know.
Only thing we know is that
we don't know the
Loki,
events when
Loki
the events
is a
transpire.
Jerk.
Oh, yeah.
For giving the Infinity Stone. So
it is going to be an awkward, jarring thing to go from "Hello, I'm cool, piss off ghost" to brutally murdered by Thanos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
But
I almost love that. I love that they're gonna take this comedy that was Thor, just turn it on its head.
Man, it's so many.
I guess I guess they're gonna play it up as tragedy though, because like it ends with such a happy-go-lucky. I'm king now. Things are going great. Asgard's not a place; it's a people. And then they're all murdered. You know, that's pretty tragic. I guess you know that'll be good.
And if they have the guts to kill everyone on that ship, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's brutal.
Whew. So we don't know when the Infinity Stones are collected. No. I think that's a subplot is the Black Order pursuing them and tracking them down and trying to get the Infinity Stones. I don't know.
Yeah. Because apparently, like the speculation is that one of the Black Order has Vision pinned down and sucking that gem from him or whatever. Mm-hmm. So.
And then somehow. The Guardians of the Galaxy come into play.
Yeah. Which I was also wondering, like, maybe, like, I don't know. I honestly don't know how big of a part. Like, I was honestly thinking they could almost, like, wait till, like, the end. Maybe we see them show up. And then
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
They're much more heavily involved in the second Infinity War. Like, I feel like in this one, there's not going to be as much of them. But in the... Like, maybe in this one, there's going to be some of the main Avengers die, right? And so then that's more of a reason for the Guardians to step in.
Yeah, it's all very unclear because, like, I feel like, first of all, I feel like it'll end up being they have some sort of subplot, maybe with Thor, where they're tracking down the Infinity Stones or something, or trying to figure out Thanos' plan is unraveling. At the beginning of the movie, I expect to see them getting the news that Nova Corps has been invaded and the stone has been stolen.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so I expect maybe they'll have some sort of B-plot throughout the movie with Thor, probably, maybe.
For sure.
And then they come in the third act and help defend Earth.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun to see Peter Quill back on Earth again. He'll be like, whoa, is this an iPhone? What?
Yeah, that'll be pretty nice.
I have my doubts about them being in the fourth movie, though.
Oh,
I'm actually... This fourth movie is such a mystery. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
It is.
And the reason that I think it might be time travel is because, like, the set photos we've seen, right?
Oh, yeah, those are for the fourth one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fridge.
The set photos that we have seen from the fourth Avengers
because they're all in
movie
the Avengers getup from the original movie.
feature them all in the original costumes and shirts and hairstyles and everything from the first Avengers movie. And even some of them, like, we see Thor in the set photos, he's holding Loki, and Loki has that
it's crazy.
mouth thing over him that they put on him at the end of the first Avengers when he's captive. Yeah. So it's either just a flashback, might be just a flashback, or major time travel occurs. And I feel like if you don't do time travel, then it'll feel like the time stone was wasted, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think it's time travel. I really do. Yeah. And that's something that we haven't done in this universe, and will definitely unlock a new array of possibilities. Maybe even a Days of Future Past situation where some things get reset. Who's to say? Other set photos I've seen, they've been filming some scenes in a 40s themed location. So they're doing some flashbacks to World War II with Cap or something. Flashbacks or time travel. Yeah. So, it's interesting. I don't know. It could just be flashbacks, but I feel like it's time travel. I feel like that's the natural progression.
Maybe they, oh my gosh, my dog. Just a second.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
Do 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 do. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum.
All right. My bad. My bad. All right, we good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe they have to they reverse time all the way back to the first Avengers to prevent Thanos from getting maybe that's how it ends. Maybe it ends with them reversing time to get away from Thanos, right?
Right.
Maybe that's a consequence they have to decide, because then Doctor Strange, she's erased, right? All this jazz, right?
Well, right, and
so maybe that's a consequence, but then in the fourth one, Thanos figures out how to get them, and so it just comes back, or maybe that's where the climax. I mean, there's just so many ways.
So it could either be that they narrowly escape back in time or something, or it could be that Thanos gets all of them and he wrecks time, and they're left scattered through time somehow. You know, that'd be interesting. But yeah, I don't know, because if you were to rewind time like that, I mean, that's a major. First of all, it's a major new thing in this universe because we haven't had time travel. But second of all, I mean, you'd be essentially erasing all these movies people love since then, which I highly doubt they would do.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they reverse time, but something happens and they're all of a sudden they jump forward again, right?
Right.
Or maybe there's just
maybe it's a Back to the Future situation where they have to get it back on track, get the timeline back on track. You know, I've heard Avengers 4 described as a heist movie by some of the cast.
Really?
Maybe it's some sort of time travel heist. We've got to get the Infinity Stones back somehow or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting. And
there's
then,
gotta
of
be
course...
they got to invent some consequence to using this time gem, though. Like, 'cause if they have it and, like, say the Cap dies, right? Then they just Doctor Strange reverse the time, prevent that death. You know, like, because they could just keep doing. There's got to be some consequence, something that happens to him if they overuse it, right?
Well,
none of that's seen in Doctor Strange, right? It's just,
and to be fair, we don't even know if it can travel through time yet. Because in Doctor Strange, all it does is rewind time.
Good point.
You know, and that's only by like 5 minutes or something. It's essentially a time turner, really.
Yeah.
From Harry Potter, more than anything else.
For sure.
So,
how's it used in the comics? Do you know?
I don't know. Not at all. But see, the crazy thing is, because we know that Captain Marvel will be in Avengers 4. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. This is crazy. There's so much to think about, because
there really is. Oh my!
We know that her movie is set in the 90s. It will feature Skrulls, who are the shape-shifting.
Oh yes, we still have Skrulls to deal with. Gosh dang
which are heavily involved in the Secret Invasion plotline from Marvel, where some of the Avengers turn out to be Skrulls who were shapeshifters the whole time. Option 1 is Avengers 4 is Secret Invasion somehow. And
maybe Thanos.
They're filming flashbacks to the first Avengers movie because one of them was a Skrull back then. You know? It would have to be someone who doesn't have their own movie, because they wouldn't do that to a character like Thor who just got his own movie. They wouldn't be like, that whole movie you saw, he was a Skrull. They would do it to a secondary character like Fury or Hawkeye or something like that.
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, maybe. Yeah?
No, maybe Black Widow.
Maybe Black Widow.
I could see Black Widow being one, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that. But anyway.
Because everyone's asking for a movie, right? But they're not giving it to them, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So maybe that's why, because she's a Skrull.
That's true. That's a good point.
Or maybe the Thanos we see in this trailer is a Skrull himself. And it turns out this
maybe
is
everyone's
a
Skrull.
Invasion, right?
Yeah.
And then,
so
and then
option
in the
1 is
final
Avengers 4.
That's Thanos.
Yeah. Option 1 is Avengers 4 could be Secret Invasion, and the scenes that we're seeing of them in their original outfits are flashbacks to one of them being a Skrull, and we're seeing what they were really doing behind the scenes.
Who do we know? Yeah, it's just Thor and
Iron
Man,
that's how
right?
Captain Marvel comes into the picture.
Okay, yeah.
Option B is it's a time travel movie, and here's what I just thought of. Captain Marvel is set in the 90s. They go back in time and meet her in the 90s.
Is she like, what's Captain Marvel's powers exactly?
She can fly and she's super strong. I think she can do like energy blasts or something. I don't know.
Is she invincible? Like, can she die? Like, is she human? Can she die from old age?
I think so.
Cause that one, you think?
I think so.
So maybe they go back. They get her, right? They hear of
right.
That's legend or whatever.
Because that would be the only two reasons you would set Captain Marvel in the 90s, other than it being cool, would be, one, you're just setting up Skrulls and their involvement on Earth back before the Avengers, so that then when they come in, it makes sense. Or two, she's in the 90s. Maybe she even dies at the end of that movie. Imagine that.
Yes.
And then when the Avengers in the fourth movie go back, they get her, they pull her out of the time stream, maybe even take her back to their time.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, and she joins the team through that. Imagine that.
That'd be nice.
It'd be a bit of a Steve Rogers parallel, where she's a woman out of time and the world has aged before her, but you know.
But maybe Steve dies.
Maybe he does.
Maybe he dies at the end of this.
Yeah. And that is the question of who's going to die. There's so many questions. So many questions swirling around, Hitchcock.
Who is going to die? Who's your predictions for death?
Vision will definitely die.
Infinity War. Not talking about 4, just in 3.
Right. Vision will definitely die.
Yeah.
I think Rhodey or Falcon will die.
Okay.
I might lean toward Falcon because Rhodey, we just saw him.
I don't think they'll pull that
in danger. I don't think they'll pull that again. Falcon has been around long enough that I feel like they could kill him off and it would have emotional weight. But he doesn't serve a massive purpose to the team. Let's be honest. You know, he's cool. I like Falcon a lot. I love his character, but he's not
for sure
the movie would be the same without him. In all honesty,
Yeah.
So I think they'll kill one of them. They'll kill Vision, and then maybe they'll kill
Spider-Man.
Okay, you can elaborate on that if you want. In
Spider-Man.
fact, elaborate, please, because
I've
seen a lot of people on Twitter saying today they will kill Spider-Man, and I'm just like, what?
Well,
What are you talking
Tom
about?
Holland's not that great at keeping secrets, right? So maybe they're just fed up with Tom Holland.
Maybe.
Right? And so they're like, okay, we're just going to
check him
kill
off
you.
the
I'm
list.
sorry, buddy. You were great for a time, but we just can't deal with this right now, okay? And so they kill him off. They get Tom Holland out of it. And then they bring in Miles Morales.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're doing... they already have a Homecoming sequel set
do
for
they?
2019 or 2020, which I think they know Tom Holland's in it,
Yeah.
And of course,
Well-
that's the downside
well,
to
maybe
knowing
that's-
everything
maybe
about
that's-
who's cast in what before the movies even come out. But
Maybe that's what, maybe, I think if there is a death that they're going to reverse, it might be, Spidey.
yeah,
Like, if someone dies and, because that would make sense, Tony, he's
would
basically his
certainly
son.
up the stakes.
So that would make Tony, forcefully make Doctor Strange turn back time so he could save
yeah,
Spidey.
yeah, and
I
then you
think
leave
so.
you
If
leave
they're gonna
Tony
reverse-
guilty over a kid again.
For sure.
But also,
So-
I feel like, I mean, if it was at the very end of the movie, maybe that makes sense. But they'll want to have Spider-Man in the film for the whole movie because
Yeah.
people love Spider-Man and they
Sure.
want to see him in this.
Yeah,
so I highly doubt he'd die at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
In general, I'm questionable of that. I think he's too new to this universe.
He's
already in another movie.
Too. They've nailed Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Right, he's
so
the perfect
perfectly.
Spider-Man. I'm 100% sure that he will, if he dies, they're going to bring him back. He will continue to be Spider-Man for years after this because he's part of their new roster.
Yeah.
They're preparing. See, that's the thing. All of the Avengers, all the original Avengers contracts expire after 4.
Yeah.
All 6 of them. So if they kill anyone, it's going to be the older members. It's not going to be the newer ones because they want to save the newer ones so that they have a roster to go off of,
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
So we know it can't be Hulk.
yeah.
Maybe it's Thor.
I
Maybe
think that's a very real
Thor,
possibility. I
maybe
think
he's
Thor
so
could die.
distraught about the destruction of Asgard that he pulls a Superman,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
honestly, I could see that working,
I definitely could. And his trilogy's been completed,
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe you could even do the whole female Thor thing that they've done in the comics, where then a new mantle is taken up by a woman or something,
Sure, for sure.
and she reforges the hammer or something. Yeah. And that's what they
I can see
did
that working.
when they did that whole new roster of the Avengers
Yeah.
in 2 years ago or whatever. They put female Thor on the team because Thor was cast out or something. They put Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all these characters,
Yeah.
I think they're going to go for something like
so
that.
I feel like if someone's gonna die at the end of the third movie, Infinity War, it's most likely gonna be him.
Yeah.
Him.
But
Because I feel like, then I think we will have more death in 4, and I think that'll be either Iron Man or Cap.
Right. I know
think
for a
for
fact
sure.
that one of the big two, Iron Man or Cap, is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And
Rock paper
maybe
scissors right now. Who's
they'll
gonna die?
wait on that for the fourth movie.
I think
and
for
kill off
sure
someone
they
like
will.
Thor in the third
I don't
one.
think they will kill one of them in this, because I feel like
Yeah.
they're I don't know. I just feel like they need to stick around for the fourth one.
Yeah.
Because they've been. I mean, they were the start of this, right?
But
So-
it would be poetic. It would be emotional to see one of them grieving over the other's death after they fought in Civil War.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's going to be Tony because he's the one who started it all, And Robert Downey Jr. is the oldest out of everyone, So it would be kind of poetic for him to be the one that goes out,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Vision, I think one of the older secondary characters like Rhodes or Falcon, and then I do think they'll kill off a big one at the end. So it could be Thor.
Which
I would like that. I think it would work. Yeah.
I could also see, because both Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., they're very iconic in this role. They can't be replaced, you know?
Right.
Like, they're Hugh Jackman as Logan, right? They're the same thing. I mean, definitely more leaning towards Robert Downey Jr. than Chris Evans, you know? Because Chris Evans is great, fantastic, but he's not as great as Hugh Jackman or Robert Downey Jr. So I could see Captain America dying at the end of this one, you know, giving him a nice send-off to his character, you know, in this movie, and then finishing it off with Iron Man in the next one. You know? Because I feel like if they're gonna kill, especially Iron Man, they got to do it justice, you know.
Yeah.
Like they did with Hugh Jackman, because he's been in, like come on, he's the most iconic superhero as of today, you know. So
I think Robert Downey Jr. is on his out, and he's already played the mentor. He's already inhabiting that role at this point, where he's the wise old sage almost, you know. But he's still very cocky, playboy, young, but he's already sort of embracing that wise old sage. Right, it's great, but it's so good. But he's already embracing that sort of mentor role. I think he dies because he's already kind of played all his cards. Where else can you take Tony Stark from there? Cap, I think, lives, but I don't think he stays on the team. Because I think Chris Evans really wants to move on from this eventually. He's said multiple times that he wants to direct movies at some point. He wants to do a bunch of new things. He was hesitant to even sign the contract deal that he did in the first place because he didn't want to dominate his life. He loves this role, as far as he says, but he wants to move on at some point.
Sure, that's reasonable.
So I don't think he'll be killed off, but I do think he will maybe retire.
He'll be sent
and then
off.
Chris Evans could make cameos later as a mentor to the new Avengers, similar to how Tony Stark mentors Spider-Man in Homecoming.
Okay, I can see that.
And now he's the wise, grizzled Cap, you know, which has happened in the comics. That's happened before. So I think that works. Yeah.
For sure. Man.
I mean, Hulk, I think, will just stay alive because people love Hulk, and he'll continue to be on the team even in the new roster. That will continue.
He's lost his ability to become Hulk, so he'll just be chilling as Bruce Banner. Yeah. He'll die a peaceful death.
Anyway, that's about it.
Man.
Right?
So much to look forward to, honestly.
So much to look forward to. So many questions. We don't know what's going to happen, and we've really probably spoiled it for ourselves.
It's great. No, but we haven't.
We really don't. We don't know anything, you know? Yeah.
So here's the question. They released a second trailer. Do you want to see more?
I tweeted today that I really want to try to avoid a second trailer.
I
don't think I will be able to, but I'm going to try.
You definitely will not. You'll try for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Then it'll go down the drain. I don't know. I feel like this has got me hyped. It's got me intrigued. It got me asking questions. It's got me wondering, you know. I feel like it's a good, I don't want to see more. I don't want to know what the plot's going to be. I don't want to know more. So.
Yeah.
For sure. Man.
Well, that's it, folks. That's all, folks. I think that was a very good kind of insights episode.
Yeah. That was very awesome. Did we miss anything? Oh yeah, Iron Man's Captain America's got his gauntlets, you know, in Wakanda.
That's
Those
pretty
are
cool.
Very, very nice.
Black
looking.
Panther's cool. Someone get this man a shield.
Someone get this man a shield.
It's good.
I love it.
All right, I need to wrap up. I'm losing my voice. I've got homework to do,
yes,
and
same.
We need to do pick of the week. So
yeah,
what's your pick of the week, Hitchcock?
Yeah, pick of the week. I saw just last night, Lady Bird.
Oh yeah! Yes. There you go. There you go, mate.
You talked about it briefly last week, didn't you?
I did.
Yes, but
talk about it.
I finally was able to see it last night, and it was very nice. It was such a great movie. You know, it's written fantastic. It's such a nice, just refreshing kind of movie, I guess. You know, I hadn't seen the movie like this in a while, and it was just a nice coming of age, high school, moving into college. You know, that kind of movie. It really It was very emotional. It hits both of us
at an opportune time in our lives.
For sure, definitely. It's But yeah, it was great. I came out really, really liking it, and I keep liking it more and more as I continue
It's also
to think
very,
about
like,
it. And
I think it strikes a perfect balance between formulaic, for lack of a better word, like kind of traditional storytelling, and innovating that storytelling. So it takes lots of traditional sort of tropes from coming of age school movies and elaborates on them. And I really like that. And I also think, like, one thing I love about it is it's just very unpretentious, you know? Like, lots of Oscar movies, especially ones about teenagers, are, like, very pretentious, you know? Very overdone and everything. But this,
for sure.
It's very artful and very it's got a very strong vision, but it remains simple and endearing, and it doesn't talk down to the audience, you know? I feel like it talks to the audience at their level, you know? And I really like that.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really nice. Very inspiring on, like, a technical level, too.
Yeah,
you know, so it's very simple.
Cinematography is great.
I mean, just the writing, it's just so, like... I mean, there's nothing fancy going on. There's no, like, fancy shots or whatever. It's just very simple, and it works so well, and it's very nice. It's very cool to see it set in 2002, too. You know, it's such a weird time period. You know,
I know. It's a period piece set in the early 2000s. I love that.
Super weird, but it works. It works for sure, so... Yeah, I loved it. Definitely go see it if you haven't. It's a very... I think I put it as 2017's best.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Better than Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But that's like comparing apples to oranges. It's such a different movie.
They're very different. That's
like, I think the top 4 are all rated 5 stars on my list.
Right,
so it's
me
kind
too.
of like I can switch any of those up, you know, and they're just the top 4, basically, you know, in no particular order. So, it was very, very nice, refreshing movie, so...
I think I've divulged this information before on the podcast, which is that I have a movie pass, fam. And you need to get one, because I'm talking to you and I'm talking to the audience, because everyone needs to get a movie pass, because it is the greatest thing that will ever happen to you. I'm not even kidding. It's the best thing that's happened this year.
The deal went off too. The $90 up front when that holiday deal is gone.
Oh, good. So buy it now.
I'm hopefully gonna get it soon for sure. I need to. Figure
for those who don't know, the reason we're glad that a deal is over is that they had a thing where it was if you pay all the money up front for
$90 up front for a year,
it
turns into like $7 a month.
Right, but sometimes it's better just to pay month to month. So
because who knows? You want to cancel it or whatever. You don't got to.
If they go bankrupt. Which is a very real possibility. See, that's the thing. Like, I hope and pray that this company stays alive. I really do. But in case they don't, I'm going to use the heck out of this thing for as long as I can.
Try it, man.
Anyway, so I've been seeing a lot of movies because of that movie pass. Like, and it really has benefited my theater experience, because, you know, so many of the movies I've seen I would not have gone to a theater to see unless I was able to see it on my movie pass.
Oh,
you know?
For sure.
And I need to send them an email saying that so that they know.
Yeah.
So anyway, the movies that I saw this week, in theaters at least, oh my gosh, I saw a lot of movies this week. Okay, I saw Coco.
Yeah.
New Pixar film. Very, very good. The music was fantastic. The animation was stunning. It's another one of these examples of an animated film that really builds a world. You know, it does something that animation is built to do, which is make creative worlds that you just couldn't do in live action. And then it was really, really emotional towards the end. I thought it was an interesting exploration of this culture and this different sort of relationship that they have with the afterlife, and really emotional. It hits. I mean, it's somewhat predictable, and it hits some of these Disney beats that you'd expect. Like some of the villains. For a minute, the villain who turns out to be the villain in it, I'm like, maybe he's a little more nuanced than I expected. And then at the end, it's just like, wah ha 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 ha, I will kill. You know,
gotta love it.
Gotta love that Disney vibe. You know, but I thought it was really, really good, and the little voice actor was great. The music was great. It was really heartfelt, and the whole exploration was awesome. I also saw The Man Who Invented Christmas.
You did, yep.
Which is a movie that has had very little marketing. But it stars Dan Stevens from Legion and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And he's great. And it was distributed by Bleecker Street, which is the company who did Logan Lucky and Lost City of Z, both two very good movies from this year. And it was really good as well. I was glad that I went to a theater to see it. I gave it like a 7 of 10 on Letterboxd.
Cool.
But it is essentially about Charles Dickens and his writing A Christmas Carol, which many people don't know, influenced how Christmas as a holiday was treated by the society. Before A Christmas Carol, and the crazy thing is I had been researching this before the movie even came out, and I didn't even know. But before A Christmas Carol was published, Christmas wasn't a big deal. Like, even in the newspapers on Christmas Day, they made no reference to Christmas. Like, it was that much of a little kind of small town thing.
Yeah.
But once A Christmas Carol was published, it went huge and inspired everyone to change the holiday. And so this film explores him writing it, and oh my gosh, like it feels like a storybook. Like the cinematography and the lighting is so golden and nostalgic and picturesque, and the set design is like, it's almost like a play mixed with something. It's incredible, and the costume design and everything. The whole vibe of it, from the visuals and everything, is just this storybook, and it's magical. And I'm glad I saw it on the big screen. It goes on a little long, and there are some contrived things that I'm not a huge fan of, but it was really good. So that was an enjoyable experience. I saw Cars 3. You hated it. I thought it was kind of fine.
It's not good.
Fun enough.
It's not good. It doesn't work.
And then at 4 a.m. 2 nights ago, I watched this movie called The Edge of 17.
No wonder you were up to 4:30 last night writing an essay.
Oh, I know. Right. I watched this movie called The Edge of 17. Did you see the trailer for that when it came out?
I did.
That was a year ago. Yeah. It stars Haley Steinfeld and Woody Harrelson. And I hadn't heard about it for a while because lots of people have been comparing it to Lady Bird as of late, saying, because they're both coming-of-age movies about young teenage girls in high school.
Hey, you know what else is a coming-of-age thing?
Oh?
Yeah. Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, there you go. Hitchcock has been trying to get me to watch Freaks and Geeks all week, but I haven't had time.
You need to.
I have had time.
I haven't had time, he says.
As I watched Edge of 17 the other night. Yeah. No, but I watched it, and I can definitely get the comparison to Lady Bird. I think Lady Bird is a more artfully directed movie. It's definitely a lot more,
just on the surface.
It's got more vision. But in terms of the substance of it, like the writing, and the character and the acting and the character, just the character depth, I felt like it was almost on par with Lady Bird.
Okay.
I really, really liked it. Haley Steinfeld was fantastic. I loved her in this role, and it's got a really nice kind of message where it takes some of these tropes of coming of age movies, like where the people feel like victims and they're like, oh, everybody hates me, and it kind of just throws them on the floor and goes, you're not a victim. Stop being so entitled. That's the message of the movie almost. Like, the character is very flawed, but you feel for her and you get her and you identify with her, even though she's really flawed. And so I thought it was just expertly written, some great supporting characters and breaking of the mold. And it was really emotional for me. It was almost like when I watched Sing Street, which was also a movie I watched at like 3 a.m. one night. I just felt like when I was going to bed, I turned off my computer and went to bed, and I was like, I just watched a really good movie. I'm so glad I watched that. That made me feel great. Oh, it was so good. So yeah, I highly recommend that.
I'm telling you,
that's what I watched this week.
you are in the perfect vibe right now to watch Freaks and Geeks.
Okay, yes, I'm going to watch it. I swear.
I'm not joking. You watch that movie. You watch Lady Bird. They're all high school, living through high school, and Freaks and Geeks
as Spider-Man: Homecoming is, which was also written by the Freaks and Geeks guys.
It is, yeah, and it's Freaks and Geeks is based in high school. It's about 3 freshmen, and then I think she's a junior. She might be a senior though. Yeah. The main girl. She's but yeah, it's all based in high school, and it's so good. It's real. It's just one of those high
and only
school...
one season, right?
It's only one season because it got canceled because it was going up against like Friends and all that jazz. And what else? I think another reason I read an article on it, it said it got canceled because there wasn't, like, the producers thought there wasn't enough victory for the characters, and because it is very like just. It's real, and there's drugs, there's smoking. It's
it's like Napoleon Dynamite.
It is. It really is. It's got the same feel. It's 1999 is when it came out. I think 2000. Yeah. So, but yeah, I recommend it for sure.
Yeah.
You need to watch it before you get out of high school too, because I guarantee you, I think when I get to college, this is just all these high school films that I love are not going to have as near as significance in my life. You know.
Yeah, it is. I need to watch all the coming of age films I can while I'm at that age where I'm coming of age, so that I feel them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, highly recommend it.
Yeah. So that's great. I guess this is it. This is it, fam. This is the end of the episode. This has been fun. We've talked about some good stuff.
For sure.
Where can people find us on social media, Hitchcock? Where can they do it?
Yes, I'm at nerd_stream7 on Twitter's, Instagram, Letterboxd, all that jazz.
I'm at Blockbusted Pod on Twitter, and I've deleted Instagram off my phone, so I don't use it much. But if you wanted to follow me there, it's at Houston Productions 1.
Jolly tough. Jolly
also,
stuff.
If you would like to go support the show and Houston Productions 1 on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Houston Productions 1. There are lots of fun rewards and content on there. I've been meaning to update it for a while, and I think I will soon with some recent reviews of things that I've seen. These unscripted ones that I do for the patrons specifically. Mm-hmm. And then, I guess that's it. If you want to contact us, tweet at us, or email blockbustedpodcast@yahoo.com.
Yeah.
And that's about it. What are we going to do for our next episode next week, Hitchcock?
What's coming out? Nothing, really.
The Jurassic World 2 trailer is, I think, set to debut next week. So
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
It's pretty good.
Star Wars, The Last
Jedi. Yeah. Maybe we should do a Star Wars Last Jedi theory episode.
Oh, yeah, we did that last year, didn't we? No, but we already did one on The Last Jedi.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we did it after Force Awakens came out, though, so it's been quite some time. We've seen 2 trailers since then. Yeah. I think maybe next week we do our TV episode we've been meaning to get to forever.
Yeah.
We talk about The Gifted. We talk about Freaks and Geeks if I get a chance to watch it, which I will.
You better. Black
and
Mirror,
we talk about Rick and talk about Black Mirror, which you're gonna watch. And talk about Rick and Morty, which I have finished and you are semi close to finishing.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that.
I think the ultimate question is, though, our fans want to know, when is Long Box Breakup coming out?
Mate, I've made a promise to myself, a deadline.
Have you now? Because I was told it was coming out in September. You know.
Oh, I know. But you can't rush the creative process, Hitchcock.
You can't rush art, man.
Yeah, you can't rush art.
You can't rush perfection.
Yeah. So I'm making a promise. Deadlines are good. I need them. It will be out before the end of the year.
Okay.
So whether that means I would like to release it on Christmas, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Or it could mean I release it at 11:59 p.m. on December 31st.
Great.
1 minute before the end of the year. Yeah. Might do that. That's probably what will happen. But I'm doing it. I'm freaking doing it. Yeah.
The hype is building, man.
I'm liberated, man.
Excited. We're ready.
Yeah, lots of really good films recently. I've been very inspired.
Suggs is leading the hype train for this one.
The hype train is all aboard. All aboard. All aboard the hype train.
Gotta love it.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Hitchcock.
We will indeed.
Say your bloody catchphrase.
Hashtag wing it. 4 days.
There you go. Or dang it, DC.
Dang
it, DC seems very relevant as of late, you know. But
yeah, we used that last week.
Yeah, we did. You can't overuse the dang it, DC, or it gets old.
Yeehaw Marvel. How about that?
Yeehaw Marvel. Yeah. We're not MCU fanboys at all.
Not at all.
Keep lying to ourselves.
Yippee-ki-yay.
All right. What even is this, guys? We will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.